Okay, so welcome back to another market overview. Today we'll go over Bitcoin, ETH, BTC, and the Kusama, which is also what I want to cover real quick. But yeah, let's just start off with Bitcoin. And since last week, we seem to come down quite a bit. We had a let's see, in total it was a 20%, moved out to the downside, and we're starting to consolidate now. But yeah, so that was basically just form of liquidate. Basically, a ton of people getting liquidated. To be honest, if we go over to this chart here, we can see at those lows here, we had around 74 million people getting liquidated. So yeah, that was a. This is just another indicator I like to look at in terms of confirmation, like I said last week as well. So I'm guessing you lot might know that all by now. But yeah, that was spiking off here as we came down to those lows. Tons of people getting liquidated. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, what else can I say? So since then, we've literally just came down, started going sideways quite a bit. And here are the three levels I've kind of been trading this range off, really. Yeah, so if we go here, you can see literally the highs and the lows respected really nicely. Yeah, so basically until we break either to the up or downside, I'd assume us to continue ranging here with all of this, and this all being deviations before further expansion. As you can see, deviation before we expand to the highs, deviation, expand down to the lows. Yeah, but there's that. Yeah, so levels to the upside to be interested in if we were to break to the upside from here, which is possible. So let's see. Yeah, I'm really looking at this 60k region again. It was quite major resistance before, so you could see it has been major resistance again since we just broke down underneath it. Come back up, just a simple SR flip, but also you got untouched weekly there as well. So we have that, as well as this. I'll give you guys this level because I do think it's very important, but you get your fixed range tool. I really want to start from the start of the range to the end. Leaves us with 60,769 approximately. So really around the 60,750 really level is a key area of resistance. I've already posted that in the group. But yeah, 60,750. That's a fixed range tool from here to here. Lows, highs, before we finally break down. So literally ending the fixed range right before we broke down. You get 60,800. And also I'd be very interested in 62,800 as well. So that's also a high volume node where there's a little area of support before it as well. So 62,800 and 60,750. Both levels I'd advise you probably to write down in terms of do break to the upside. Levels I'd be interested in possibly shorting if you could be able to find confluence there. So yeah, those are the two. So I might as well mark those out now. I already have that one marked out. Might as well mark this one out here. Yeah, so 6,800 as well. Really, these two key resistances. Let me name this res. Move this in here. Close this up. And yeah, so you have that. I'm gonna take that away. And then obviously as well, if you were to move to the upside, you're gonna take your swing high to swing low, and then obviously you get your .618 golden pocket area coming in around this level as well. So if you pull this up, yeah, this area here really 60,000 to 60,800, quite big resistance. But also I like to look at the 786, the .83 as well. A Fiblo I don't really see many people looking at, but yeah, 786 and 83 coming in right just as we coming up to that 62,800 mark. So yeah, between 60,000 and 62,850, massive resistance I'd say for now. But yeah, I do think these two levels themselves are quite powerful, so be aware of those, as well as that untouched weekly we have here coming at 60k on the dot as well. I expect an initial reaction off of that. A higher time frame naked points controls, yeah. So we came up and hit this one yesterday, which I already had marked, and yeah, you've got that decline down to 54k roughly, back down into that range. But since we already hit this one, I'm gonna remove it from my chart because that's how I like to roll with it. Yeah, so there's that. So what can we move on to? Yeah, 62,000. A lot of resistances up here, around there. Yeah, so to be aware of that. So what happened just last week? Well, I was speaking to you guys about this rising wedge we had, in which we broke down of completely, and yeah, you'd expect a move really down into the 618 area. Move this out of the way. Computer's a bit bugging out, but yeah, you got to move down onto the 618 area, as well as, I'm guessing, my hat on time frame key levels. Yeah, the daily, almost, you could say a front run possibly. So you have that there, but what I wanted to go over, it was be a move to the downside really. If that would be my preferred option, if I was to be honest. A lot of people might dislike it, but you know, hey, there's that. Yeah, so let me show you what I had in the Discord last week. What was it, 14th? So we're basically up at the highs. Let's drag this over here. Yeah, so basically we had this, I posted this in the chat, you know, last week, saying we have a possible cipher if this was to be the top, coming at the 1.133 fib extension level, or expansion level. Yeah, so there's that, targeting the 26th of September. But if we go over to people, we're saying, look, if you ever put this on YouTube, people come for your head. People not really expecting, you know, a move down at this point. People are really, you know, people need to stop being so bullish at the highs and bearish at the lows, and kind of basically flip your perspective. I feel like that's definitely what you should be doing, as you know, because you need to be thinking of possible scenarios. You know, I was saying, of course they would have to be prepared for every scenario, though. You know, imagine if this were to happen, then we would all be prepared. And basically what's starting to happen here is, posted it here, and then yeah, look, so since then we've literally we had that massive run, and this is starting to look quite a bit more likely now. But yeah, you know, if you're taking your fib time as well, what I wanted to look at as well, I was targeting the 25th or 26th of April to the first high, take it to the second high, right about there. Yeah, you can be targeting, you know, really the 27th, around this area, 26th, I'd say the 26th of April, 25th. One of those 3 days you can expect possibly, you'll be able to, you know, time big moves. So it might not necessarily be down here at the lows, but you know, it could time a major, you know, pivot in the market. So yeah, we have that. What else is there to go through in terms? So the downside, yeah, I'm looking at 47k really, and it's here, it coincides with me, this 48,300 region. Yeah, because if we got a reaction off this region here, I'd be able to also say that's basically the cipher almost complete really. And yeah, look further for up target. So that's probably a possible swing trade area here, 48,400, you know, down to around 47k. I'd be interested in a long. Yeah, the only thing with that though is, you know, we would have broken market structure, because you know, higher low, with us making higher highs every time. Whereas here, if we were to come down to this, we would have made a lower low. But you know, you might be able to expect a move down before you make a lower high. So this could still be, you know, a decent percent move in terms of a trade that you could take to just take up to that lower high position before the further continuation to the downside. So that's just to be aware, if we were to come down and break that market structure we have here. Yeah, so the cipher coming down really, you have that 786 and that daily down here. So coming around 48,400, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah, and you got a naked point of control down here, 48,600. So yeah, those are levels in terms of the downside, 48,400, and again to the upside, I said 60,800, and that 60k region really is definitely what I'd be looking at. But 60,750, look for that to begin with, I'd say. Yeah, so that's the Bitcoin levels. Until then, you know, we still are really in this range. Let's put this back up. Yeah, literally highs and lows of the range until we break definitively above, I'd say, these highs, or break below these lows. Then, you know, expect anything outside a little bit to be possible deviation. So yeah, there's that. Now what did I want to cover? Yeah, Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So yeah, really what we've had here is, I speak to my team about it as well, and yeah, what did we have? Yeah, sorry about that, had that little distraction there. But yeah, come back onto the ETH BTC pair. What's happened? We've kind of formed this rounded bottom here at the lows, at the monthly as well. Before we had a nice increase up to this 618 monthly region, which I was, it fared as decent resistance for a while. But today we seem to have just completely smashed through this weekly here as well, and approaching this weekly here. Really, it looks really bullish, if I'm honest. Look, it's continuously looking up, but when everyone's starting to be bullish on something, you need to be cautious and always be taking profits. So yeah, there's that. Really, and apart from that, we really just have this daily up at the highs I'd be watching out for. If we were to break above that, then yeah, what can I say? That's really the last one resistance we have of our local highs before you have quite a potential nice move to the upside. Yeah, but we're at this weekly at the moment, so this could fare as resistance. But what we're doing is we literally we come up to it, hit it, and then get a really tiny rejection before just blasting through it. So yeah, be aware of that. But yeah, that's Ethereum. Just be taking profits along the way, really, performing really nicely because it just broke through that 618 region and yeah, continues to move forward. Yeah. So what was the last one I was thinking of? Yeah, Kusama. That was it. Yeah. So this is the one I'm actually really looking to get into a trade on if we was to get a nice. I'd love a move to the downside, but yeah. If you come onto this chart, you got the all-time low to the all-time high, and you have a weekly on the 618 golden pocket area here. You don't really get these opportunities too often, so if you are looking at this, definitely look, swing low to the swing high. You get your 618 to 66 region. Yep, sorry, had another little distraction there, but basically swing low to swing high, come down into that weekly region. That's 618. Yeah, you don't really get these trades too often, but if we were able to get this down, that would be another 30, roughly 28% move to the downside. If we were to get that, that would be, oh yeah, that would be amazing, honestly. Yeah, that would be, you rarely ever get these trades, all-time low to all-time high, 618 onto an untouched weekly. That's just a free trade I thought I'd give away to everyone, in terms of altcoins, because I know a lot of people are interested in that. I also did a lot of analysis on HBAR, in which I gave the levels for in the Discord and basically all the reason for all of this 1.618 region, etc, etc. But yeah, anyway, that's the analysis. Next week I'll probably go over the Ethereum USD valuation as well, because I know a lot of people like to compare that to the USD value. And yeah, basically just a recap on Bitcoin. We have this possible cipher playing out on the big higher time frame, looking really 48k, 48,400 region for a long, and reason 786 daily, looking for that region, and to complete that cipher. And then you have the resistances up here. You have 60k, or that weekly of 60,000 and 60,700, I think is a very key one, and 62,850. And then if you break above that last daily, then looking for really all-time highs at that point. But yeah, so we have those levels, and that's it really. You could call these levels, but I haven't really updated them too often, so I won't really go through that too much. But off of what I've given you so far, you also have this range we're in at the moment, so yeah, keep these levels marked out as well and be aware of them, and as well as those key support levels 48,400 and 60k region as well that I gave out for you. But yeah, that's it for this week. So market overview, and I'll probably maybe even see you this week with another one, or at latest next week. Thanks for watching.